If you're a professional producer and now it's time for you to consider to outsource the mixing of your own song, there's certain things that you want to really pay attention and make sure that you optimize your song to be mixed outside of your own production. What is the best way to optimize your own song? Number one, make a decision if you are happy of the creative side on production. Naturally, during the production phase, you're gonna end up mixing. Mixing with a production mindset is very different than mixing from a mixer mindset, okay? So naturally, the sound design of your own song is also made by mixing decisions. Parallel compression or EQ, it's part of the sound design equal to mixing. But then you wanna leave a certain space of headroom to do additional mixing. Mixing from the 70s or the 80s was about to pull the fader down entirely, rebuild the mixing from scratch, essentially. Today, mixing is just take the production to that state and just elevate the quality. It can be technical, creative, or both combined. So make a decision. The initial point is export your stems in a logical way where you make a commitment. You decide what is production and what is not. So if you process your vocal, for example, and then you're happy with the vocal, I recommend to give an option to the mixing engineer. So if you send to Studio DMI, you might want to export the processed vocal as a guideline for the engineer. And then you want to also provide the dry vocal to be able to in some way give an opportunity to the engineer to match your idea or maybe improve it even more. One thing you want to pay attention is, if you're using reverbs, I strongly recommend to use reverb on send instead of on insert. Put reverb on insert, you need to commit on the stems with a reverb. If you put on the send, you can print a reverb stems, which give an opportunity to an engineer like myself to use your reverb or replicate the reverb as having like a guideline as your reverb choice. One thing you want to stay away from is over-processing your busing. So if you have a stereo bus, we use limiting as a test to get louder, that's totally fine. But then remember to turn off when you export individual stems that are going through the bus. You want to give like a dry, clean bus with enough headroom to work. Usually -4 to -6 peak will be best. Always remember 32-bit floating file is the way to go. 32-bit floating file allow me to regain dynamics. In case of clipping, unwanted clipping, I can literally take the clip away. I can lower the level and regain peaks, which is essential. Don't use 16-bit, don't use 24, don't use 8. Just stay on the 32-bit floating file. I know it sounds simple, but name the stems in a logical way. For example, kick low, kick top, bass, 808, snare. Keep a consistency in the name of the stems. Why this is important? You might gonna call me to have notes and revision. How are we gonna call a stem? Hey, the stems call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, H, B, Z, or the stems call bass low, okay? Now, if you really want to be precise and professional, divide on folders. What I mean is if you have 40 or 50 stems plus, go for drum folder, bass folder, synth, effects, vocal. This will make my life easier, but not only that, I'll be able to communicate faster. If something is missing, it's easy to catch. Follow Studio DMI system, and this can be long-term a very productive way to work. Most likely, if it's a full mix, you're gonna have a conversation with me before I start mixing. I'm gonna ask a specific question about your vision. We're gonna talk about reference track. What kind of music you like? Now I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna start mixing. I'm gonna send you a V1. And if I have some other idea, I might send you a V1B if I wanna send like a brighter version, a louder version. Now, if you come to Studio DMI for mixing, be prepared to receive a master, because every mix that I do at Studio DMI, I deliver a final master. Now, most likely you're not gonna have notes, but if you do have notes, then I recommend to just get together with your team. Might be manager, producer, co-producer, singer, label, and just consolidate series of notes. So you finish your song, you probably listen 500 times, which is the average of a producer listen your own song. You might be not objective anymore, you might be tired. The good news is the song come to my ends, and we're gonna do the mixing and mastering and send out to the world in distribution. Let's close this song.